The big story we are following at this hour is a hostage crisis in Sydney. Reports say 1 or 2 terrorists might be inside and at least 13 people have been held hostage inside a cafe in Sydney's central business district. Reports say they are forcing hostages to hold up black and white flags that appear to be ISIS related. The airspace above Sydney has been sealed and surrounding landmarks including the Sydney Opera House have been evacuated. The National Security Committee of the Australian Cabinet has convened for briefings. The Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott also issued a statement about the siege.
Now, if you take a look on your screens there, looking out the window, we've got obviously police moving into Channel 7. They'll be in every building around.
Let's get a word from a citizen from Sydney who's with us on the phone line. Mr. Yadu Singh is with us. Mr. Yadu Singh, good morning. Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to Headlines today. Are you near that cafe where this hostage crisis is unfolding? Tell us what's happening there.
Okay, no, I'm not in the cafe area, but this is Sydney, so we're not very far away either. This place, Lynn's Chocolate Cafe, is in the Martin Place, which is the headquarters of business and finance, businesses of Sydney. So this is a very popular, very busy place, and this was 9:45 in the morning, which is right the beginning of businesses in that area. Almost all the big shopping places, you name it, the Boss, the Hugo Boss, and all the big Myers, David Jones, and all the headquarters of banks. This is a very busy and popular area, and it is obviously causing a lot of scare and concern in Sydney. This is the first time we had something like that, and this is covered by almost every media, radio, the newspapers, the social media, and every single person who's in social media is covering it. So it is, of course, a matter of grave concern that somebody has gone inside this popular cafe and is holding anybody between 10 to 20 people, any number between that number, because it's not clear cut. They're holding them as hostage inside this popular cafe in the most busy center of Sydney.
All right, so almost 13 hostages being held there by 1 or 2 militants in the business capital of Sydney. Dr. Singh, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Rohit Revo, who's the editor of IndianHerald.com. Thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Rohit, what's the latest on the ground? What can you tell us?
It's a sad situation to be in. As per the earlier reports of around 13 to 15 hostages, there's now talk of having around 40 to 50 hostages. The National Security Committee of Cabinet has met just this morning and reviewed the situation. I think the Premier of this state has been contacted by the Prime Minister Tony Abbott, and Prime Minister Tony Abbott is about to give a media conference in about 5 to 10 minutes, which should be on now. I think there is a bit of a panic right now, and there have also been reports that police has conducted further raids in some other places apart from this specific location in the epicenter of the city. So it's an evolving situation, and people have been asked not to panic and have full faith in the reporting of the police, in the police conduct. And also there have been some reports based on what happened in Mumbai in the terror attacks in 2008, asking media to urge restraint and show caution in spreading the word about this incident.
Absolutely. In fact, police teams, including SWAT teams, have been rushed to the spot at this cafe where that hostage crisis is unfolding. Rohit, can you tell us a little more about the location of this cafe? How relevant is it? We believe it's in it's in the center of the business district of Sydney. Also, what time is it in Australia? And is this a time where office goers would be inconvenienced because of this incident?
Look, it started at around 9 o'clock when people were about to go into the office, and there were reports of some hostage situation developing, but nobody knew at that stage that it's going to be perhaps a terror-related incident with the Arabic flag or the Islamic flag being displayed by 2 people inside there. It's 12:34 at the moment, but I believe I have spoken to a few people, and this is the financial hub of Sydney, the financial district, the epicenter, just like a Nariman Point in Mumbai. And most of the people work in this area. Almost all the buildings there have been evacuated. Nobody is allowed to go into this place, Martin Place. And I believe people who are there are still there, but have been asked to leave the offices. The trains have been shut down in that area, and the buses have also stopped. It's Christmas time, and people are expecting to spread joy. And this place, the Lynn Cafe, it's mostly known for the best chocolates in Sydney. So people would have been there, or even having the best coffee in that shop. So it's very unfortunate that this has happened. And I believe that relatives of the hostages who are inside, they have now started to come into Martin Place, and slowly the gravity of the situation is getting unearthed.
All right, Rohit and Mr. Singh, stay on with us. We're also being joined by our Deputy Editor, Smita Sharma, who's on the phone line. Smita, as Rohit and Dr. Singh have both been telling us, this really is a hark back to the Mumbai terror attack that we witnessed in India.
Well, clearly, Simi, the attempt at least does seem to be one. The scale might not be same at the moment. We have our fingers crossed for sure, because so far the only saving grace in a way has been that no gunfires really have been shot, wherein, we're not sure whether there are casualties yet, but even the numbers, in fact, are something that people are really speculating about. Somebody suggesting there are 10 people who are hostages, and this number goes up all the way to 20. In fact, if I may just give you an update, that the first official statement of the New South Wales Police is now out, and what the statement really says is that the police operation is underway at Martin Place, that the emergency services have responded. Number of streets around the area have been closed. The Martin Train Place station is closed. Also, people are dealing with an armed incident here. Specialist officers are trying to make contact with those inside a cafe. So clearly, we'll have to wait and watch as to what these people who have taken these innocent people as hostages, what they are up to, whether they will be willing to negotiate or not, what will their demands be like. And also they have requested that people in the encompassing, the Hunter, George, Elizabeth or the Macquarie streets, which are really the bordering places around Martin Place, that either they should remain indoor or stay away from open windows. If somebody else is in this area but not really inside the cafe, they have been asked to leave as well. And police has also asked media to not speculate, knowing very well that this could put the hostages directly in a line of threat. So clearly operations underway here, much calm and restraint, of course, at display by both the police as well as, the public out there. Even the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott, in fact, who put out that statement and is expected to make a statement shortly again.
Smita, thanks so much for that update. Stay on with us. You're also being joined by Mr. Yadu Singh. He's a doctor. He works out of Sydney. Mr. Singh, we're being told that key streets leading up to the business district have been cut off. People are being advised to stay indoors. Have you been able to speak to people who are working probably in offices near this cafe? What has their response been, and what are the kind of scenes that they are witnessing around this cafe?
Absolutely. I see the whole area from Macquarie Street to George Street. The Martin Place is a big place, and it cuts across many streets. They all have been shut down. In fact, this morning we were supposed to go and pick up my suits, which I bought only a few days ago, and that is in Kings Street, very close to Martin Place. And we obviously have been advised not to go there because the whole area is in lockdown. The good thing about it that, I think taking cue from Mumbai terror attack, where the Indian media, TV particularly, gave the 24/7 commentary. Here, Channel 7, which is a national channel here, its office is just across the road, very close to this particular cafe, and that has stopped beaming the report about this hostage. So media is taking precaution, and they are behaving responsibly, because we don't want, terrorists, if this is a terrorist attack, which I think it is, because the guy who's inside the cafe has a gun. People have seen the gun. They have seen the flag, which is Islamic flag, which talks about there's only one God, which is Allah, and there's only one messenger, which is Muhammad. So it is obviously with the purpose of creating a panic. It is with the purpose of creating a scare. It's clearly, with the purpose of causing terror. So, the media is behaving very responsibly. They are having live reports, but very carefully. Not speculating, not saying something. Just recently, somebody said that there was an incident in Opera House. Now, yes, the police has come out with some comment that there is an incident, but they're not saying what that is. Nobody knows what that is. And so a lot of things are being said, but in a very careful manner. And clearly, there is scare in the community of all types, because this is the first time we have this type of attack or incident in the central business district. This is a very popular place, Christmas time. I can tell you, we took time off today just to go and do shopping, and we were about to go there. We obviously have stopped our plans. So this is clearly with the purpose of causing terror. Now, please remember, a few months ago in September, Sydney had multiple raids in different suburbs to catch hold of people who were planning terror attacks. And at that time, Prime Minister Tony Abbott said that there is some information that some lone wolf, some lone terror-minded person is planning to get hold of one or two persons in Martin Place, was mentioned, to behead or harm and create a terror. Now, this was said about 2-3 months ago, and I'm really worried that it is now coming to this. Now, this guy who's inside the Lynn's Chocolate Cafe does have a gun. That's almost every media is reporting that. And he took the gun out from his backpack. So I'm just hoping and I'm praying and I'm wishing that nothing happens beyond what they're doing, and this guy surrenders and he comes out and we end up in having a peaceful resolution of this situation.
Absolutely. So what we do know at this stage is that almost 13 hostages have been held by 1 to 2 militants. They're holding out black flags there with some kind of Islamic text on it. Smita Sharma, our deputy editor, is with us on the phone line. Smita, the fear of this being an ISIS attack is also something which is which is sent alarm bells ringing globally. I will try and reconnect with our deputy editor Smita Sharma. The big story we're tracking on First Up this morning, a hostage crisis unfolding in Sydney's business district, where 1 or 2 militants, we're not exactly sure at this stage, have reportedly held 13 hostages captive in a Lindt chocolate cafe in Sydney's business district. The hostage crisis began at about 9 a.m. this morning, Australia time. It's about 12 noon, and the crisis has still not been resolved.
I think everyone would expect that.
We're waiting for a briefing from the Australian Prime Minister. We'll come back to our top story in just a bit.